Hi everyone, welcome. Today, August 10th, 2020, we're having our regular Monday through Thursday Q&A session talking about U.S. immigration. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi, headquartered in Los Angeles, but helping people from across the globe come and live and work in the United States, get together their family, go into investment opportunities, and just rise to the next level with the opportunities that exist in America. So thank you so much for joining us. We're live on TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John, every Monday through Thursday, and on Mondays, we're live on Facebook too, JQK Law Firm. And the recording of this is on YouTube, where you're probably catching a lot of it here. A lot of my audience is catching recordings of this. And if you are, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get updates. We're doing daily content that really helps you out, and it helps out the channel to have more subscribers because more people get to hear about this and learn the information and, call in and join and ask their questions and get some information, educational information about the immigration process, not case-specific guidance. For that, you'd have to consult the attorney in private. But I'm glad you're all here. So happy to join. The people are coming in, so feel free to start sending your questions in a moment. And with that, let's get it started. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining us again. I forgot to mention the intro, but if you have a fiance or marriage-based green card case that you're thinking about, the first thing that you should do is get proper strategy on that case and how to deal with it. And you could do that by going to www, make sure to put that one in there, www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. And there you can download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook for free that breaks down the process so you have an understanding of how things are going to happen. And then from there, you could consult a lawyer in private once you have some good knowledge and education about the process. And you can always go to visit the JQK Law Firm YouTube page, where I talk about all sorts of different processes that are there so you can learn a little bit about it before you make a decision, whether to use a lawyer or not use a lawyer, or which lawyer to choose, what they're saying makes sense of what I said or not. Just a lot of background information, which is really key. You really need to understand your own case and just don't blindly go to somebody. Make sure you do your own research as well, because it is your future. And hopefully the resources we have here can help you with that. Just again, it's www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. You can download that there, and as well as the JQK Law Firm YouTube page, which has tons of information in the video section, along with other pages. Instagram has copies of my approval notices, so you get some timeline ideas, all that kind of stuff. So Sidhu asked, they increase the citizenship costs. Well, they will be increasing the cost for a myriad of type of cases, a lot of different types of cases. And I think it's going to be around the end of September. Citizenship is one of them, almost doubling. If you're going to apply for a marriage green card or just a green card in general, usually you could apply for a work permit, travel permission at no additional cost. That is going to be a fee now. There's going to be a fee associated with that as well, almost $500 per. So there's massive changes coming. So it's really important. If you are interested in taking on a case, submitting a case, and just lingering, sitting there, or especially for citizenship, I frequently have clients who could have applied for citizenship 5 years ago, 4 years ago, even 10, 15 years ago, and they just put it off. Now is the time. There's no need to pay an additional amount of money, like $500 or $600 to the government, just to do it. Right now, the fee is less. Take advantage of it and just get out of the way and do it. But yeah, the fee increase is coming. It's very serious, and hopefully you could avoid it. Arvind says, I'm on a STEM OPT expiring February. I'm applying for asylum. Can I work going to CPT after February? So I don't know. That's something you have to consult private, because I got to see your whole situation. But let me help people understand what that means. STEM OPT is if you're studying in the United States. After you graduate, they give you some period of time for you to be able to work and get some on-the-job experience before you go back to your home country. STEM OPT is an additional extension of that 1-year period that they initially give you once you graduate for a longer period of time. If you're in one of the STEM majors, science, technology, engineering, math, if you study one of those areas, you get some more time to be in the United States to get experience. So this person, that time is going to run up in February 2021. And then it says that they're going to apply for asylum. So it's possible to file for asylum. But one issue with asylum is when you file for asylum, you should have done that within 1 year of entering the United States. If your STEM OPT is running out, that means you've been here for a while. Potentially you had a vacation back and forth, so that 1 year gets restarted. But that's something initially you have to look at and say, well, if you didn't file within 1 year of last entry, why didn't you? And have an explanation for that. So that's a separate issue that you have to have there. But can you do CPT? Well, CPT is if you're doing work while you're going to school. So CPT Depends on the major you have and the curriculum of that school that is given to you that they have. So I can't answer that question. I need to know a lot more information, because if you're getting a CPT, that means you're re-enrolling in a school, and I need to check out your I-20. I need to check out your school records, what the school is, what the curriculum is. There's all this extra stuff to see what's going on with your case. And also, if you're filing for asylum, one, the asylum fees are coming too. They're going to start charging for that asylum application. Two, asylum, you could apply for a work permit after 6 months. Right now, it could change to a year. We don't know what's going to happen. But you might as well file sooner. So if you had the idea of filing for asylum case, you should have probably filed as soon as possible. So really, I would focus on that, because if your STEM OPT is expiring in February, right now it's August. Let's say you file in this month, but September, October, November, December, January, February. If you file for asylum sooner, that opens up the timeline that hopefully in 6 months, if they don't change the rules, we're not sure how that's going to happen, you could then get your work permit filed that time too. Potentially there'll be a gap in time where you're working, we can't work, but it's better than not being work completely. So there's so much going on in this fact pattern that it's not appropriate for me to answer in this live session without reviewing it and analyzing your case in private. That's why it's 100% mandatory in your kind of case that you go and talk with immigration in private, strategize, because you have much bigger issues. As I mentioned earlier, you got to look at the 1 year requirement. You got to look at what the reason for asylum is. They've gotten really strict on this. President Trump's administration does not like asylum. They're doing everything to stop it. I have a podcast called the Immigration Lawyers Podcast. Check out episode 144, I think it is, or 145. I interview an attorney that works for Clinic. It's the massive pro bono agency, who wrote a 100-page response to the administration's proposed changes to the asylum regulations. And she's saying, instead, you're doing away with asylum. So, when you tell me you have an asylum case and you're worried about CPT, you're worried about the wrong thing, brother. You need to work about the primary thing first, then go secondary. I know money and work are really important, but you really have to get the priority of legal stuff in order that you got to get together. And that's why you really need to consult with an attorney as soon as possible. And that's my opinion on that. Nazir, thank you for joining us on Facebook. Good to see you too. Okay, ZZ says, does my fiance have to take the original confirmation copy form 260 on the interview? So there is no, that doesn't make sense what you're saying. First of all, it's DS 160 if you're doing a fiance case, not DS 260. And there is no original DS 160 copy. This is something you print on the internet. So there's a lot of holes in your question. So I don't know what's going on. Probably better consult with an attorney in private. Danny says, my brother-in-law is coming with his visa to New York. Will he be stopped for any reason? I mean, it's like saying that my brother's coming to visit in my house. Is he going to get stopped for any reason? Well, maybe if he's selling drugs. Yeah. If he's a terrorist. Yeah. I don't know. If he's speeding, take the car example. If he's speeding or he's DUI or he runs a stoplight, he can get stopped. So, I don't know. I don't know anything about your brother. Even putting aside those kind of criminal serious stuff, I don't know what country he's coming from. There are travel bans for certain countries. So I need to know a lot more information about your brother and his background and his intent on coming here, his life back home, what he has to go back to. There's a lot of things. So it's not a question I could really ask here. I need to talk to your brother. Ruchita asks, hi, my priority date PD is July 30th, 2019. My file is moved from California to Potomac, but didn't receive transfer notice. I don't know what to tell you. You just got to keep an eye out for a file, and you have a lawyer probably filed the case. If you have a priority date, it probably means you got an employment-based case. You can talk to them about that. I don't know enough of your case. I need to see your documents. It's not something I could answer here in this setting. Danny says, my brother-in-law is when we know stop example COVID. Maybe I don't know. Thank you, Bruce, for the kind words about the suit. Sid, who says, there is a local lawyer in my city. Should I use him? I don't know. I don't know who that lawyer is. If he's really a lawyer, I mean, the question is not that good a question, brother. I'll be honest. You should go and consult with 3 or 4 or 5 different attorneys. Go to the JQK Law Firm YouTube page. It should be posted today, if not tomorrow. I have a 25-minute video or 20-minute video or 25-minute video. It's called 8 Steps to Choosing an Immigration Lawyer. And watch that from beginning to end, and I explain how I would choose an immigration lawyer in 2020, where we're at right now, the modern way of doing it, and then do that. So what you're telling me are just local, this if you see my 8 steps, this is like 1/1000th of what you got to do. So this is a serious matter. You really need to buckle down and make decisions, talk with several people, and this is your life. This is like, you know, if you got a disease and you need to get cured, you want to go as many doctors as possible, try to solve it, see who has the best answers and what they're going through. So just saying some local lawyer in the city, that doesn't mean anything. That has no context to it. So it's not something I can answer, but definitely check out subscribe to the JK Law Firm page, and so you get notified when it's there, and you can watch that video. It can help you out. My Rachita Falls, like, my file is past normal processing time. How long can they answer for my file? They could take as long as they want. So although it's past normal processing time, that's just normal processing time. There's abnormal processing times, which you're in, and you just got to be patient. I don't know your case, so I can't tell you what's going on with that. Walk-in asks, hi, public charge rule, please. I don't know. Here you go. I don't know what to tell you, public charge rule. Right now, the public charge rule is on a hold, the version that President Trump created. We don't know when that's going to go back. That's another reason why really you should get your cases started if you have a case that's worth filing, to avoid that kind of stuff. Hannah says, can I apply for my citizenship? Are they open? Yes, they've never been closed. It's a massive mistake that many, many people have. Thousands, probably tens of thousands of people who think USCIS is closed. It's not. I file for citizenship Form N-400 cases every month. I file for I-130s, family-based cases, employment-based cases, adjustment. We file everything. That thing has stopped being accepted by USCIS. So if it's appropriate for you to file for citizenship, you should do it. Need says, you look like Ranbir Kapoor. I think someone else had mentioned that too. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I think my wife looked it up, was a good looking guy. So thank you for that. Rosa says, my hair is getting long though, and it makes me look kind of wacky in my own eyes. So I got to get a haircut. The sides are getting way too long. And I look very different depending on how my hair is. So if I get a haircut, you come back and watch, you're going to see I look completely different. Like, how does this guy look so different with just a haircut? But it's kind of bizarre how that works for me. Rosa says, if you renew your green card, how long do you have to wait to apply for citizenship? Renewing your green card and filing for citizenship are completely different matters. They're unrelated. So now there's always more to it. I need to consult your private, but generally they're unrelated matters. So that's it. Groupie says 2 DUI misdemeanors. Can I still get work permit, asylum pending? I don't know. They're changing the regulations on this. I need to see the circumstances behind a DUI. That's too case specific for me to be able to advise here. Nito says, sorry, I just stopped to say that. Stop to say that. No, thank you. I appreciate that. W4 says, public charge for beneficiaries leaving abroad. Has anything changed? Yeah, the public charge rule, there always is a public charge rule. Even if the judge says on hold, they could force it if they want to, because it's been a part of the statute for over 100 years. But the version that President Trump does it, and if your family's overseas, form DS 5540, there's an injunction on that too. But right now, the embassies are mostly closed, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to get an appointment to do a visa interview in time to take advantage of this hold on the public charge rule, the current version of it. Brickson says, how about we shut down the border because Trump 2020? Yeah, that's one way to go about it. San Diego immigration lawyer, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. If you haven't already, if you're watching, join. He probably has a ton, but San Diego immigration lawyer, SD immigration lawyer is a great channel, constant material coming out. Follow him on everywhere, really. He's really a gold mine of information and updates. Definitely check that out. Sidhu says, I've stayed outside the U.S. for 6 months. Does that affect for the 5 years you have to stay in the United States? Well, you're referring to U.S. citizenship. If you have absences of more than 6 months, it could break what's called the continuous residence. Yes, it could have serious issues for your citizenship. It depends on the totality of the circumstances, where you could show your life was, and really the discretion of the officer doing the interview with you. So can it affect? Yes, 100% it can affect. Will it affect? I don't know. I don't know enough information about your case, and also luck has a role to play with it. All right, Amber says, my brother's conditional green card expires. What we should do? Well, you shouldn't do anything. Your brother needs to go and consult with an attorney to file it. Condition card expires before it expires. If he doesn't file the removal of conditions in time, then they're going to put your brother in removal proceedings, deportation, and that's going to be really nasty and expensive. Sandeep says, hi, sir. Hi to you as well. Abdul Washah says, should my brother wait until he became a U.S. citizen to file for his spouse? That is a decision your brother has to make. There's more strategic questions we have to go over in that. But it's not something I could tell you for your brother, a third party, to do without knowing anything about them. That wouldn't be appropriate for me to say that. Ecology says, do you think Trump's immigration policies have been horrible? I mean, it doesn't matter what I think. It's just the facts are he has immigration policies. We're dealing with it. This show is just about the facts, not about. It's not one of these Fox with CNN where I talk about what I feel and stuff. We just deal with the facts here. Let's see. Navreet says, "Can we file for citizenship on conditional green card?" Yes, you can. A lot of misinformation about that, but it is possible. Shakir says, "In marriage case, USCIS do the interview or they just send direct green card?" In almost every marriage case, there are exceptions, but almost every marriage case, there's going to be an interview between the couple of the couple by USCIS, and that's why there's delays in that right now because of not being able to do interviews, in-person interviews because of COVID-19. But I would say 99% chance or more than that the couple is going to have an in-person interview. Citizenship and marriage cases, they really want to check it out and talk to you. User 123 says, "Hi, sir, I'm a citizen. Can I apply for my family?" Well, it depends on which member of the family you're talking about. Some yes, some no. That's too general to just say my family. And I need to know more information about them to see if it's appropriate to file. Beer Boy says, "Waiting for my interview eagerly. It's been 3 months. Change case. I'm ready to be scheduled for interview." Yeah, just gotta wait. Hopefully it'll start soon. There are massive delays going on, but that's it. Sidhu says, "If we stayed outside the U.S., we already answered that question." And Mintusab says, "Hello, you're awesome." Thank you so much, Mintusab. Regular Mintusab, I appreciate that. If you had the time, because you're so kind with your compliments, please check out JQK Law Firm's, Google page. And if you have any comments and 5-star reviews that you like to put, that'd be appreciated. That'd be cool if you did that. Thank you. Abdullah says, "I'm a green card holder. Can I apply for my mom?" No, you have to be a U.S. citizen to be able to file for a parent. A green card holder cannot apply for their parent. So that's banned. User 123 follows up. "My mom, my 2 brothers and sisters." So as a U.S. citizen, you can, I would say, petition. I don't know if they're going to get approved because there's, when you file for family members, 2 parts to it. There's a U.S. person, a green card holder, citizen who's asking for this case to get started with the Immigration Department, USCIS. And then the second place is that foreign person able to get a green card? Is their background appropriate for it? So I could say as a U.S. citizen, which you said you were, you can petition for your mother. That'll take a year, 2 or 3 years, depending on a lot of issues. And you can petition for brothers and sisters, which could take 10, 15, 20 years. But whether they could get the green card is another question. I individually have to review each of their backgrounds to see if they have these kind of issues, what are called inadmissibility issues, that could prevent someone from entering or getting a green card. And so, you can start the process, but you really want to study the end process now. So if you file for your brother and sister and right now, and then 20 years go by and they finally get their turn to get a green card, and all of a sudden they can't get it because of some issue we would have noticed now, we would have not even, submitted it and saved the hassle and the hope that it gets destroyed and crushed because of it. So what you really need to do is, have a lawyer talk with each of your siblings, your parent, to see what their background is, to see if it creates problems for being able to file for a green card or get a green card eventually. That's the first thing, strategy and planning is the first thing to do. It's a good start coming here to talk about it, but we got to look at all that. Azam Salim, join, thank you. Rosa says, what if you are a green card holder? Can you apply for your kids and husband? A green card holder can apply for their spouse and minor children under 21, as well as adult children that are single above 21. So those are possible, but the various travel bans can apply to, a spouse and children of a green card holder. So it depends on what country they're from. Some potential travel bans may happen. There's COVID-19 travel bans. There's non-COVID-19 travel bans. So I need to know a lot more information about that foreign person, but it is possible for a green card holder to file for kids that are single. It just, whether they're over 21, under 21, messes with the timelines, and you can file for your spouse. But again, it's, as I mentioned earlier, you file for them. Whether they can get the green card is another question, because we need to know a lot more information about their background to see if it's appropriate for them to get a green card, or if they have certain issues that prevent them from, becoming admissible into the United States. So we always have to review all that kind of stuff. The last thing we want is to get surprised at the end of the process. We paid all this money and time and then realize, oh, that wouldn't work. User 12 says, "Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome." Rosa says, they are from Iraq and they live in Turkey, but they're under union. I'm not sure what under union means, but there's more to it that I need to review from that to see what's going on. But especially if they're there's a lot of document issues that are from Iraq that we got to get, police certificates, birth certificates, and sometimes it's hard to get that depending on where in Iraq they are, what group they're in, all that kind of stuff. So it just makes it more complicated, but we want to get all that in order before filing so you don't get surprised later when you cannot get a document and things fall apart. Paula says, can someone how was deported apply for a green card through a spouse that is a U.S. citizen? So if someone's already been deported, can they file for it? Maybe we got to see what the deportation was about, what kind of removal order it is, if waivers are possible. So the answer is maybe yes, maybe no. And that's something that you need to consult with an attorney with in private. There's so much going on there. Jimmy says, I have a green card, 10 years. I applied for in 2018 for citizenship. In 2019 in September, denied. And the CICS USCIS pricing. Well, I don't know. Why were you denied? That doesn't make any sense to me. And why didn't you refile potentially? I don't know. I have to get the denial notice that they gave you to see what the reason was you were denied and check it out. And so it's not something like we could talk about here. Schedule a consultation in my office. We do initial consult. The email is info@jqqlaw.com, info@jqqlaw.com. And I'll take this second as a reminder, if you are thinking about doing a marriage case or a fiance case, and frankly, a marriage or fiance case is just extra steps to a regular family-based green card case. So, people who are doing regular family cases could download this ebook I'm about to talk about right now, the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook. They just don't need to do the marriage part of it. They do the rest. Just download that at www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. That's the place to go to talk about it, and we can schedule a time if needed afterwards, if you find it necessary. But I think it'd be a great resource to have some strategy, not just marriage green card cases, but use that information in other areas as well. In this fast-moving world that is U.S. immigration. And, a lot of problems are coming up. One of the reasons I have a lawyer, I just got off with consultation right now, someone who used a paralegal, these people that fill out forms for Form I-751, removal of conditions. These are people who got married and they got the green card soon after, and the government, after 2 years, wants to recheck their marriage to make sure it wasn't a fake marriage. And so they didn't do a thorough job because the notary that helped them just submitted a couple of papers. They get what's called a request for evidence, RFE, because they're not believing the marriage is real. And we went through what they sent and what they had. They had tons more documents. This case should have been approved by now, but it's been delayed more and more and more. They're really nervous. They can't sleep at night. And so I was like, well, you should have gone to a lawyer in the first place. But fine, it's expensive, and I understand that. But when you don't get good help, then sometimes things get really bad. And they should have easily researched it and solved a lot of the issues they had on their own. So that's why I say, do your own research. That's why these videos, these Q&As are here. This is your life. You got to spend time on it to do it right. But problems like that do happen. Rosa says, I'm sorry, I meant UNHCR. Well, that's a whole different thing you're talking about. Citizenship and UNHCR. There's a lot going on, Rosa, if I'm catching. Actually, you were at the Iraqi case. Okay, so I'm not sure. You're saying your brother or your foreign person that you're talking about was from Iraq. They became refugees in Turkey, may be possible, but the documents will be a major issue that pops up. So we just got to see what's going on. Jimmy says he said I lays I'm fitting with my wife. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Jimmy. Grant Joe says my fiance visa expired and she is still here in the United States. What should we do? Well, you got to get married and then file a basic marriage case. So we got to restart the process with Form I-130 and do that at least. But I don't know. I need to talk with both of you to see what happened, why you didn't get married within the 90 days. You just cost yourself more filing fees at this point, more paperwork and more hassle. But you need to consult with an attorney, but it is possible to still salvage the case as long as you were the person who submitted the fiance petition, not some new spouse that's coming in. That could be problematic. But yeah, we got to check out what's going on then, what happened there, because it's kind of bizarre that you didn't just get married 90 days. Now, they did shut down marriages for a while, but I've had clients been getting married for the last 30, 60 days. So I'm not sure when that 90-day window ended for you, but that's something to look into. Rosa says, what is a K3 and a K4? So it's something that doesn't get used at all, really, but what happened is sometimes spouses of U.S. citizen cases or children of U.S. citizen cases take a long time, over a year, for example, to have the initial I-130 petition to prove that the relationship is real to get approved. And so they created a K3, which is for spouse of a U.S. citizen, and a K4, a child of a U.S. citizen case, to expedite that, make it faster. But because the basic time in the normal case is fast enough, one out of every year is probably only like 10 K3s issued. So it's not a realistic thing to submit to get. There might be some strategies and tactics involved with that, but that's what it is. Once you submit Form I-130, petition for alien relative, to start the green card process for your U.S. citizens, your U.S. citizen for your spouse, then you can submit the K3 I-129F petition, and you have 2 petitions pending at the same time. If the K3 one is approved first, then you could go to the embassy sooner and get a visa for that foreign person to come here and then apply for the green card in the United States. But if the I-130 is approved first, they go and do their interview at the embassy, and if they get approved, come with the green card. I personally think it's better to just come in the United States with the green card. So it's like strategically in many cases, not all cases, but it's not worth the cost and hindrances and annoyance of getting a K3, come to the United States, then applying for the green card, because it just delays how long it'll take to get the green card. Whereas if you file the I-130, no K3, when you do the embassy interview and you enter the United States, you should get a green card in the mail within a few weeks and you're done with it. But with the K3, it's going to linger and linger and linger. And that's why I unless a client forces me, I usually, very rarely would every year I'll do a couple, because the client wants me to, but it's not something I really put out there, because I don't think in most cases, it's not a wise strategic decision. Grant Jones says, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Leanne says, if ICE decides to take someone, what are some important things to know and rights do we have? I don't handle things that deal with ICE so often. It's not an area of law I practice, but if they knock on your door, you don't have to let them in. You don't have to open the door. So these are constitutional rights a person in the U.S. has to avoid that. And so that's one thing. You don't have to give them information. Sometimes things happen like ICE takes them into custody and they start asking them questions and the person admits to everything. Well, you don't have to admit to anything. You don't have to talk with them if you don't want to. You just stay silent. You're going to have your time in court unless you fall within some exceptions, like you entered on the visa waiver program, for example, and there they could just kick you out potentially. But if they give you a charging document that says you're this and this and this, you don't have to answer them, and you should just talk with a lawyer, just like criminal cases. So the same advice for ICE that you give is the same advice criminal attorneys give to their clients to say, don't talk to the police, don't let them in the house, don't give them information, just avoid them and have a lawyer on hand to deal with that situation. Santosh says, U.S. Embassy open in Pakistan? There's a question. I'm a citizen. My husband waiting for interview for visa. I don't know. Please go to their website, go to their Twitter account, or email them and see what kind of response they give you about their being open and doing interviews. Amanda, follow the host. Thank you so much. If you are watching this and haven't followed, please follow on TikTok. Please follow on YouTube, JK Law Firm, and on Facebook, JK Law Firm as well. We got time for a couple more questions. Sid, who follows up, how long can we stay outside the U.S. with U.S. passport? There is no limitation on how long you can stay outside the United States once you have your U.S. passport. You can leave and never come back. That's perfectly fine. Just remember, once you're a U.S. person, not just a U.S. citizen, but even a green card holder, or even non-green holders too, if you've been here long enough, you're subject to U.S. taxes and you have to file U.S. tax returns potentially. Talk to an accountant about that. Donia says, are I-130 petitions taking longer now because of COVID-19? No, I haven't seen that happening on average, so no. Leanne says, thank you, you're welcome. Rosa, 1986, I'm a green card holder. I did apply for my kids I-130, so do you think it's better to apply for K3 or K4? Well, you cannot apply for a K3 or K4 if you're a green card holder. That's option available to U.S. citizens only, so you don't even have the opportunity or the chance or power to file a K3 or K4, so don't even worry about that. Kazi says, how long does it take to receive a green card after submitting the application? I came to USCIS K1. Timelines vary. Check out uscis.gov for more information. Tamio says, how long is the I-75 waiver taking to get a decision? Again, check out uscis.gov, but applications vary, and there's no clear-cut answer to that. All right, if you all have one more question, let me know. I'm going to take it right here. Another one that I can't answer, how long I-765 takes? It varies depending on the case. And Sarah says, when will there be opening the visa services? These are all questions that usually annoy me a lot. I'm glad they came right at the end. And we didn't get too many of them today. The visa service is open in some countries. It's not in other countries. It depends on where you are in the COVID situation, whether the State Department is comfortable and the local jurisdiction is comfortable with the U.S. Embassy opening and doing interviews. Sidhu asked, to probably take his last question. How early, let me see how long, it's been 28 minutes, we got a minute or two. How early should renew green card if it's about to expire? Well, it depends on what kind of green card. If it's an I-90, you got to wait till 6 months before the expiration date, probably 180 days. If it's removal of conditions, a 2-year green card, you have a 90-day window before it expires when you could file, and you should do that. But if it's a 10-year green card, you're going to file a 90. You should look into filing for citizenship as well. It depends on if you satisfied the other eligibility requirements for citizenship. So check that out. I could help you. Sauer says, so how can we find out if they're open in that country or not? Well, you go to their website and check it out. You go to their Twitter account. You email them and ask them. There's different ways. And most of the time, they're not going to answer you because there is no answer and they just don't care enough to give you a proper response. And so you just have to wait. And that's the real answer. You just have to wait. Donia says, how long does it take to approve I-130? It varies in different cases. Check out uscis.gov, case processing times. Yeah, we're almost done. Thank you everyone for joining today. It's always a lot of fun. Honestly, I don't like the timeline questions because I don't have answers to that and it gets asked too much. But thank you for asking anyway. Join me. I don't want you to feel bad. You can ask questions. Just don't ask timeline questions. Feel free to join us tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific on Instagram. Well, I like going on Instagram. We have good questions there. JQK Law Firm's Instagram page. Recording of this on YouTube. And as always, Monday through Thursday, we're here on TikTok taking your questions. I guess one last question. Bobby says, my brother-in-law has been here for years and wants a green card but came illegally. Yeah, that's something he should consult with in private with an immigration lawyer. There's a lot going on there. That's not appropriate to talk here. And is it possible green card? Maybe, maybe not. It just depends. You know, it's like saying my brother, like, his stomach hurts. Is it possible to have surgery to fix it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It might be cancer. We could take cancer out. It might be he just had too much chili and needs to like go to the bathroom or something. I don't know. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you all the best. Be safe and God bless. Bye-bye.